Good morning and welcome to Unity Way Church. We're so happy that you have chosen to be with us this morning, especially on this special day of Mother's Day. I'd like to open with our opening affirmation from Wings of Prayer, and this one is from 1942, and it is, God is with me. Through him, I am radiant and successful. God is with me. So let's just breathe into that truth. And let us know that we are one with the one, that we are one with that one presence, one power, one substance, one life, one love. And as we breathe into that truth, allow that idea to expand all the way through our heart space, out into our aura, so we truly are living at the highest vibration that we can today. So again, just take a deep cleansing breath and know that you are protected, that you are safe, and you are right where you are to be. So again, I say thank you, God, which is a mantra we say here at church. And again, I say thank you for joining us this morning. I want to say Papa Charlie is doing really well. I had some individuals tell me that trust me, his eyes, you can see them. So he's doing really, really well. And Myrtle is up in Silent Unity doing her prayer stuff, but we do have Papa Charlie here, so all is good. So, I'd like to open with our daily word, and the daily word for today is Mother's Blessing. And the affirmation is, I honor all mothers and am grateful for their love. And before we go into that daily word, I invite you to hold the idea of silent unity back at Unity Village, that light, that space, that sacred space where someone has been holding that vigil of prayer, knowing that when someone calls, someone telegrams, someone is looking for prayer assistance, that someone at Silent Unity receives it and is holding that sacred space. So as we connect now here in Vista to Unity Village, let us know there is no separation in time or space. We're dealing with omnipresence. So let us know as we are here gathering together in our soul energy here that we're also assisting those individuals at work at Silent Unity right now and all the individuals that are calling and needing a prayer. What a sacred, sacred vibration to open our service with. And so again, the affirmation for today's daily word is, I honor all mothers and am grateful for their love. I bless my mother and am grateful to her for the gift of nurturing love. Whether my mother is still with me or has passed on, her love still lives in my heart and her wisdom continues to inspire me. I am grateful for the many ways my mother has blessed me. I also feel deep appreciation and tender affection for all those who have blessed me with their selfless gift of motherly love. I would not be who I am without them. Through the living example of the mothers in my life, I pass along the blessings of a mother's care, a mother's devotion, as I embrace opportunities to share an affirming thought, an encouraging word, a smile, or a simple act of kindness. I honor my mother and all mothers as I share the love of God that never fails. And from the Jewish scriptures, the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 26. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. And if you'd please join me with that, our affirmation for today, which is, I honor all mothers and am grateful for their love. Today's a special day, Mother's Day, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about the history of Mother's Day. But first, we have to have a little bit of humor. And I picked this one, and this is our comic, and it's Prehistoric Moms. And it says, okay, which one of you drew all over the walls? And I just love this one. It shows we are truly haven't changed much since the caveman, cavewoman days. So all is good. The mothering role is one of tenderness, compassion, and loyalty. And I want to say before we get into this talk, We're going to be talking about the Divine Mother aspect in each and every one of our souls. But I want to stress, whether we had or we feel that we had a wonderful nurturing relationship with our mother or not, or any mothering figures, let us realize that we're talking about this morning really the divine idea of what it is to be a mother. Unconditioned love, an unconditioned mothered understanding of who we are. And I know sometimes a day like this can be hard. Maybe your mother has passed, or maybe you did not really have the greatest relationship, or maybe the relationship growing up wasn't 100% what you think it could have been or should have been. But I want us to hold that space and know that we're talking about the Divine Mother in each and every one of us. And hold that space too, that however the mother showed up in our life, at the time that they were in body, or how they were acting in their behavior patterns, I have to believe and affirm that they did the best they could with the tools and the experiences that they had. So I think on Mother's Day, we have to hold that high ideal, but also know that we're unfolding into a greater realization of what that can be. So let's just hold that thought as we go into this talk. Again, the mothering role is one of tenderness, compassion, and loyalty. A mother's love truly changes one's life. Throughout history, mothers have been worshiped, revered, analyzed, and even criticized. Every one of us was created through the wondrous workings of a woman's body. Each of us has a mother, but being a mother is more than a biological concept. Mothering philosophy teaches divine spirit is the ultimate truth of all beings, and by drawing upon this power and using it intelligently, we can enjoy a meaningful life and also have very rewarding lives. A little bit of history about Mother's Day. Mother's Day in the United States is an annual holiday that's celebrated the second Sunday of May. Mother's Day recognizes all mothers, motherhood, maternal bonds in general, and the positive contributions mothers make to our society. The very first Mother's Day was celebrated at St. Andrew's Methodist Church in Grafton, West Virginia on May 10, 1908 by Anna Jarvis. Not that long ago. It's a rather new holiday. Mother's Day celebrates mothering. It's a time to appreciate mothers and mothering role models. And I think that's so important, role models, because I think any and all mothers, however they showed up in their life with their family or their relationships, they always want to keep doing better. And I think that's part of our divine nature. We always want to show up better. People on this holiday also give gifts. They have cards or flowers. They take someone to a restaurant or meal for a treat. Can't really do that in the coronavirus, but we can think about it. Or they really want to salute their mothering figures. And also, mothers also include grandmothers, great-grandmothers, stepmothers, and even foster mothers. So it's not just the biological, even though that is important. Anyone can take on that role of being a divine mother, which I think is very, very important. I'd like to share with you some motherisms. And one of them is, these are phrases that we've all heard our mothers say during our life. Eat your vegetables, they're good for you. Don't you love that one? I'm your mother, I know when you are lying. That one is always a good one too. Too full to finish dinner. Oh, I guess you're too full for dessert too. No Jell-O for little Michael here. Too sick for school today. You're way too sick to go out and play. This one I love. Cupcakes are not a power breakfast food. I'd like to share a thought with you, and this is from Marian Garetti, and it's mother love is the fuel that enables a normal human being to do the impossible. So this morning we're going to be talking about truly doing the impossible. Being supportive, being loving, being there non-judgmentally, just being there to listen. Motherhood is the most difficult job in the world, and I think all of us would agree. It is not an easy job because you're always in that space of trying to do and be the best that you possibly can do and be. No task is as challenging as caring for children or young people, their emotional, their physical, and their mental health, because this is what really creates and nurtures us into be the human beings that we truly become. This Mother's Day, we want to salute all mothering figures, past, present, and future, and value how strong and supportive they are. Our society needs mothers. We need that nurturing love. We need that maternal love, even in our spiritual understanding and metaphysics. Through church history, it's the male aspect that has been most focused on through church history. Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, believed that it's the female aspect, the divine feminine, that needed to really be brought forth so there's more of a balancing within all of our lives, and especially in our theology. So again, this Mother's Day, let's salute not only the mothers that we've had in our lives, but also that mothering aspect within each and every one of us. I'd like to share with you a quote from Harriet Beecher Stowe. Most mothers are instructive philosophers. I believe everyone knows that their mother had deep wisdom. We don't know where that wisdom came from, but we know it does come. We have been separated from the divine feminine for way too long, emotionally. And I think this really leads to how we have so many challenges with a lot of young people growing up, and even as adults. We need that balance of both male and female energies within us, within our souls, because that's our true nature. Again, the divine feminine has kind of been pushed to the side, and we've lost our ability to understand this still small, wise voice within each and every one of us. What it means is we need to integrate this female aspect within us. We need to listen unconditionally, listen with compassion. And that's truly what this mothering aspect really represents to each and every one of us. Are we blocking Spirit's mothering spiritual energies? Are we blocking who we have creatively come to be? Only you can answer that question. But I'm here to tell you, if we really tap into the deep reservoir of our mothering energies, that divine feminine within us, the creativity that can bubble up is beyond belief. Can we feel this morning, I challenge you, can you feel this mothering energy? Can you feel this essence active within you? My prayer for each and every one of us is that we do feel this energy, and that we really rediscover what it means to understand this divine female energy within each and every one of our souls. From the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 25, which is from the Jewish scriptures, it says, "She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come." And what this really means is that when we are centered in the balance of our soul, the divine male and female aspects of our soul nature, we truly can show up and we can laugh at whatever seemingly comes before us on our journey, because we know who we are. Our divinity includes both male and female energies. We need both of them to be complete and truly demonstrate the life that we've come to live. It doesn't have to be Mother's Day for us to celebrate mothers. It doesn't have to be because it's a Hallmark day that we've set aside, or whatever your tradition is. I think we do need to celebrate this idea of mothering. Our society needs mothers and fathers, but we're focusing today on that divine aspect of mothers and saying thank you. Thank you for bringing us into this world, and also thank you for showing up the best you could where you were in consciousness at that time. You see, it doesn't have to be always the way we're thinking. We can change the way we think today. But on this special and sacred Sunday in May, the universal motherhood, this idea, this concept of celebrating giving thanks, is truly on our minds and on our hearts, truly allowing us to really say thank you. Thank you, Mother. Thank you for being my mother. Thank you for giving me life, but also thank you for the gifts that you've given me. I'd like to share with you a story, and this is from Abigail Wortman. She says, "On the first day of first grade, I stood in front of the front door with stomach butterflies. I voiced to my mother, 'Oh, how will I make friends?' Crouching in front of me, she handed me this advice, and I carry it with me to this day. She said, quote, "Be Switzerland. Be Switzerland. Be friends with everyone. Treat everyone equally and fairly. For all the 20 years of my life, I have lived with these words in my consciousness. Soon I will graduate and will be a part of, quote, the real world. And on that first day of facing new responsibilities, I know I will whisper these two words to my own soul, be Switzerland." And I think that's a very important concept for us because we need to love ourselves, but we also need to show that love, that unconditional understanding to the people around us, whether we know them or not. It's how we show up. It's the mark of understanding that we truly are divine, and human beings are divine. That is our divine nature. I'd like to share an idea with you, and this is from Travana Jordan. A mother is a person who's seen there is only 4 pieces of pie for 5 people, promptly announces she never did care for pie. How many times in our life when we really had our heart set on something and somehow we're one slice too short, but our mother stepped in and somehow she made it happen? In my family, we probably would have cut the slice in half, so there would have been enough for all of us. But I think it's so important because a mother is always putting someone else, their interests, where they are in consciousness, not necessarily before them, but they're aware of where the people are in their life. They are aware of the relationships that they have with their children or the people they come in contact with. And I think that's part of the divine feminine. That's where we get our empathy. That's truly how we show up, being aware of who we are and voicing that love. No doubt it takes unbelievable strength and courage to raise and nurture families and kids. Let's take a deep breath and let's just say absolutely. Thank you, Spirit. It takes a lot of work to be a mother. There's no manual that comes with you when you're born. It's something that you see role modeled. It's something that you read about. It's something you pray about. But I think we have to be compassionate because we're all unfolding our divinity and our higher purpose to who we are. Inspiring truth, wisdom, and accolades about mothers help us to remember that mothers are not alone. We're all in this together. We need to support those mothering figures in our life, regardless what their gender is. We're talking about the empathy. We're talking about living in compassion. We're talking about listening to when people are talking to you. Not worrying about how you're going to respond, but you're listening with love, trying to see where they're coming from. Doesn't mean necessarily you have to agree with what they're saying, but you're giving them that sacred space, a space that a mother would give a child. And that's what we need to give every soul that we encounter. Give them that sacred mothering space. We also know by the definition also that many mothers are almost superhuman. They're almost superhuman heroes because they can do so much in usually a small amount of time. They can get up early, they can fix a meal that you particularly care for, they can put on a button, they can do so many things at the drop of a hat, or I should say as they flip their cape back, because I think a lot of mothers almost do have capes, because they really do the impossible. Susan Kingsbury says, "The divine feminine is an energy that has been with us since ancient times." This is so important. We need to really honor both the male and female energies within us, our own souls, and our society around us. Again, that's where we get empathy. That's what really this mothering love is. And I'm not talking about a smothering love. I'm not talking about a mothering understanding or a mothering idea that truly is suffocating. That's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about a third dimensional understanding. We're talking about the highest ideal of what it means to nurture, to be present, to love unconditionally, whether they're your children or not. You still have that capacity, and you're using it, and it's showing up in your life and in your consciousness. Consciousness is divided into both a masculine and feminine side. The ancient teachers would say that if you're a male, your subconscious is female. If you're a woman, your subconscious is male. And it's a very interesting idea, and really is in alignment with metaphysics. Because part of our reason of incarnating, because we come from oneness, we come into this world of duality, part of our journey of remembering who we are and reawakening to our soul's potentials is to claim that other aspect of ourselves. That's the wholeness. So really, like Charles Fillmore said, we need to discover the divine feminine within each and every one of us, especially when it comes to church. Because many times women have been really looked down upon, sadly. And I think there needs to be truly a reformation of thinking that both male and female energies truly have the ability to really live the life that they've come to live. And all our ideas are based on that knowledge. We need both the male and the female to achieve our highest creative potentials. The ancient metaphysicians would say that really the female aspect of our consciousness or subconscious mind is the womb of all creation. It's a powerful thought to hold on to. The divine feminine represents the conscious connection to the part of our own soul where we are responsible for our nurturing, our intuition, and empathy, regardless of your gender. Again, this mothering aspect is not necessarily based if you're male or female. We're talking about the divine idea. And in that divine idea holds all possibility. And to be the soul you have come to be, to truly be who you have incarnated to be, you need to really reclaim that energy. And you need to knit it into every idea or thought or feeling or image that you hold. I'd like to share another story with you, and this is the scarlet symbol. Priscilla Hartling, my mother, she was my best friend. How many times have we said that? Such a powerful thought. She loved cardinals, the male ones, the male red ones. When she got sick with pancreatic cancer and knew death was near, she told me to always look for the red cardinals. That would be her. I never paid much attention to her when she said that statement to me. I was too busy becoming an adult. 25 years later, every time I feel at my wit's end, surprisingly, there's a cardinal flying past me in a nearby tree, shrub, or bush. Is this coincidence, or is it really my mother's presence? Letting me know that everything will be okay. I'll take the latter. I truly believe there's no coincidences, and if it gets our attention, I believe that Mother Spirit is trying to get that woman's attention or our attention. Whether it's a butterfly, whether it's a bird, whatever it might be, if it gets our attention, I believe there is a connection to a loved one with us that we should remember and just say thank you for that remembrance. Because even though we know they've passed to the other side of the veil, they're still present with us, right here and right now. From Isaiah 66, chapter 66, verse 13. As one whom as one whom his mother comforts, so I will comfort you. Isaiah is telling the people that this God presence, which we know, Elohim, El Shaddai, Yahweh, Jehovah, each one of those names for gods in the ancient Judaism means male, female. Think about that, male, female combined, working together. You can't separate them. And Isaiah is saying that when you tap into this mothering image of nurturing, you truly will be comforted. And this comforting image, this comforting presence is always with us. See, the challenge is we forget the presence was around us or with us because we get so busy in the things that we're doing. This Mother's Day, let's take a breath. Let's breathe into that divine mother image within us and allow that divine love to salute the mothers in our lives, but also to know that we have a mothering, loving, compassionate, unconditional self within us that needs to be heard. Needs to be heard. Motherhood strength is truly great. And again, sometimes people say the mothering love also can even bend natural laws. I don't know if I'll go that far, but it sure seems like the power of a mother's love truly can transform many, many things. We must reconnect up with our innate mother creative intuition. Are you going to do it today? Are you going to do it this week? Or are you just going to put it back on the back burner? I'm encouraging you this week to really find that intuition within you. Rediscover that mothering aspect within you. And again, this is not taken away from the outside mothers. What you're doing is we're saluting the divine idea of divine motherhood within ourselves and with all humanity in this world. And again, by reconnecting, we find that we have a guide within us, an intuition. Papa Charlie's getting excited here. We have a intuition with us that will always be present if we're willing to stand up. If we're willing to stand up and truly be present. Stand in the divine idea of motherly love. So we have a decision to make this morning. Are you willing to stand up for the divine female within your soul? Are you willing to truly salute all women, regardless of what race or what gender or whatever, however the individuals show up in your life? If someone is showing empathy, that's an attribute of the divine feminine. That's something we should salute and say, thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Marion C. Garetti says, mother love is the fuel that enables a normal human being to do the impossible. That's truly what we're talking about. When we're speaking about the divine feminine, especially from a metaphysical lens of truth, it means that nothing is impossible. When we truly put our heart into soul, our heart and our soul and our empathy into it, we can move forward step by step. Sometimes it might feel like we're crawling, but we're still moving forward. We're tapping into that love energy within us. Because if we can't love ourselves and we can't nurture ourselves, we can't give nurturing love to anyone else around us. It's a vibrational thing. So when we tap into that divine empathy and compassion and motherly love within our souls, it raises our vibration and we can go forward and we can share that love. We can share that highest ideal vibrationally. And that is pure metaphysics. Humanity's mothers deserve the praises they receive as a mother in word, in song, and in gifts. So I encourage you, if your mother has passed, you can still speak to her in the silence. She's still near. If your mother is alive, I'd encourage you to pick up the phone. You could email them, but I'd encourage you to hear their voice, touch their life, and just say thank you. Not only will you be thanking your mother for what she did for you in your life, but you're also, that energy goes forth to heal wounds, to really build bridges where there seems like the bridges have collapsed. See, a mothering love is all about nurturing. That's building bridges, allowing us to make peace with where we are, realizing, again, maybe today wasn't the way we thought it would be, or our past isn't what we really hoped for, but today we can start different. Today we can mother our own lives and share that with our family and our friends and all of our relationships. Mothers deserve some downtime so they can relax and recharge their souls. Amen. We all need time to relax. And when we spend time in the silence, when we take that deep breath, and we talk about the presence, the divine presence of God, that female aspect of this presence in which we live and move and have our being, it allows us to recharge ourselves. It allows us to become still, to be present in this present moment. So we show up in all our relationships with this mothering factor within us, active. It's not dormant. Because see, if it's dormant, we're not living from that idea. We're not living from that consciousness. Being a mothering figure, whether in blood or non-blood, has and continues to shape humanity's conscious evolution path and unfolding journey. We cannot live in a world without mothers. We cannot live in a world without mothering love. We cannot live in a world where we don't recognize that God also has a female aspect. We cannot do it. And what happens if we do, we end up with too much of the male side, which can become very dominant and inflexible. We need divine love. We need to re-understand, to redefine what the word motherly love means for each and every one of us. Not only metaphysically, but how can you have compassion if you really don't know what divine motherly love is? Now, people will say, oh, but I never received it as a child or an adult. Bzz. It doesn't matter. You, at this time, have the ability to read. You have the ability to create friendships. You have the ability to discover within your own soul that divine mother aspect. That divine mother is almost a catalyst within us. And once that catalyst is turned on, it affects our entire consciousness, our entire body. It affects all of our lives because it affects our aura, which is our field of attraction. So again, we're all on an evolutionary path. We're all on an unfolding journey. Again, Edwin Captain says, no language can express the power and beauty and heroism of a mother's love. One of the stories I heard about a mother was actually a grandmother. Her son was working on a jalopy in front of her. She was on a porch in Florida. And one of the stands that the car was on, it started teetering and the car fell on the grandson. The grandmother, who was in a wheelchair, got up out of the chair, went down the stairs of the porch, went over there to the bumper and lifted up the car. We're talking about an old jalopy. I'm talking where bumpers were not plastic and just kissed you. These are real bumpers, stainless steel, aluminum I should say. But anyway, the mother lifted up the car and the grandson was able to get out. And you say, of course, the mother collapsed. Excuse me, the grandmother did collapse. She was brought to the hospital, nothing. They just don't understand how she could do it. Here's a person that couldn't barely get in and out of her wheelchair. But the bond of the love that she had for her grandson, an idea took over her. And one of the doctors said, as the family was leaving, is, I just wonder how much more she could have lifted. How much more? Because when you tap into the reservoir within the soul, that's what the divine mothering, that nature does within us. We tap into a reservoir we don't even realize that we have, because we're tapping into a divine energy, a divine idea. So we need to be rooted, and our soul needs to be rooted in this mothering nature and the attitudes that we have and share. Attitudes are so important because they demonstrate our feeling nature. And if we really are going to be strong in our mothering nature and our nurturing nature, we need to have the right and correct attitude. And a right and correct attitude is one of empathy, one that really is there, one who really, really cares. Divine mothers truly are the backbone. They are made of steel and their hearts are made of pure, solid gold. Again, we're talking about the divine idea, and we're talking again about symbology here. But a true mother knows that she will be there. She will do what it takes for her son or her family or for the relationship. And I think it's really, really important, especially for us in 2020, to honor this aspect of the divine feminine and the divine female nature, not only within our own selves, but to the individuals in our life and all the way around this world. Have you found the divine mother within you? Are the backbones of your life, your spiritual practice, based on truth? Do you honor that aspect within you? Maybe this week you can think about that. Take it into prayer. Who are the women that you salute? Who are the women that you admire? Because we know metaphysically, whatever we adore or give our attention to, we become. So again, I say, even if we did not have the best relationship with the mothers or the mothering influences in our life, let's take a deep breath and let's practice forgiveness. And let us have a new idea this morning about what the Divine Mother can mean within us. Forgiveness is a powerful tool. And I think many times mothers feel guilty, whether, especially now, because if they had to work, that maybe they couldn't be there for all the different events that they really wanted to be. Really, both of our parents. Nurturing and this ability to love unconditionally is really what a mother does. She's not only there to be supportive, but she holds that watch. She says, you can do it. Get back up off the bike. Get back up. You can do it. We all need to find that soul voice within us, that mothering voice within us that says, get back up. Take a breath. Take 2 breaths. But get back up on the bike. Continue with your life. Don't let this stop you. Maya Angelou, who was a Unity student and a student of Eric Butterworth, says, a mother's love liberates. Do you want freedom? Do you want freedom from your past? Do you want freedom from worry? Do you want freedom from troubling relationships? Do you want freedom from money concerns? Whatever we want in our life, all of us want more freedom. We need to liberate ourselves. And all the ancient metaphysicians that I have ever read through all the years have said that unless you find, discover, and keep lit that flame of the Divine Mother within you, within us, I'm talking about within each of our souls, you're not going to really find liberation. You're not going to find salvation. We have come into this incarnation to express more of this motherly nature within us, and we can do it. It doesn't mean we're always perfect, but it means that we can try better now. We can try better on Monday. We can try better on Thursday. We can try and do and be who we have come to be. I think mothering ideas for our own selves are always the divine balancing act. See, again, we're dealing with balance. You can have knowledge, but if you don't have understanding, that knowledge I don't think is going to get you very far. We need all of our 12 powers. And that mothering nature within us is truly unconditioned love. We have plenty of unconditioned love energy within us, but we don't act on it. We allow our animal nature or Adamic nature that believes in duality to sap it away. Or it's not fair. They don't deserve love because they haven't met my expectations. Of course, none of you have said that before. But I think as we're on this journey of rediscovering our own divinity, male, female energies within us, and our own souls, all of our relationships shift when we truly have discovered this mothering aspect. Moms embody, truly they embody all these divine is as doctors, teachers, nurses, maids, cooks, referees, heroines, health providers, defenders, protectors, and truly our own true superwomen. When you're in that mothering idea, when you've allowed that idea to truly come into your consciousness, and you've allowed it to dissolve within you, that it saturates your soul, it changes you. It should change you because it's of a different vibration. You're taking in the divine idea of this mothering aspect. And this is a factor that truly will change your prayer life. It will change how you show up. And again, you need to figure it out, find it, discover it, rediscover it within your own soul before you can share it and even acknowledge it in other people. Again, many mothers wear a cape. How many mothers do we know they act like Wonder Woman or Superwoman? Because they do so much. And I always like the idea of the cape because it means they can fly. They can fly over storms. They can fly through storms. They can fly under storms. It allows them to defy a lot of this third dimensional world. And if you tap into this divine mothering idea that I'm speaking of, this energy, it truly does allow you to get through spaces that are tough, that you would look back or look at and say, oh no, I don't think I can ever get through that. And yet you do. And I believe it's this divine mothering energy that allows us to do that. We need to realize the divine mothers truly offer us the ability to love ourselves unconditionally. This world has never known or felt the love energy as pure or as compassionate or as rewarding. Youth fades, love drops, and the leaves of friendship fail and fall, and mother's steadfast love outlives them all. Find that divine love within you this week. Find that divine love in with you today, which is Sunday. And I'd like to say divine mothers, they are really the God name on the lips and hearts of all humanity's children. We need that mothering image. We need to redefine it. And again, if you feel that your definition of what mother, quote, is or should be, you have the ability to redefine what that word means. Redefine it metaphysically for yourself. Create your definition of motherly love. Create your highest understanding of the divine feminine. It'll change your life, and it'll start really today. And I'd like to say also that when you stop seeing your mother only through children's eyes or a child's eyes, what we do is we see the person who gave us birth, but also gave birth to a part of our soul that is speaking to us now, asking for us to remember this mothering aspect within us, to remember to be compassionate, to have empathy, to show up with unconditioned empathy. See, true motherly love and this divine feminine, which we're talking about in truth and metaphysically, does not have a beginning or an end. It's a divine idea that is available to all men and male or female. It doesn't matter your gender. It's how you show up in your consciousness. And it shows up how you live your life, how you move, how you have your being. It's the power of this divine mother nature. And I'd like to end with this thought. May we salute the living and loving divine mothering energies within each and every one of us this morning. May we truly re-embrace who we have come to be. My challenge for not only for myself, but also in the weeks ahead is to truly find that divine mother aspect within each and every one of us. Rediscover the divine idea. I can't tell you how it's going to show up in your life. I can't tell you how you're going to define it, but I will say if you are searching and you are seeking truly the highest idea of the divine female, this divine mother nature, you will find it, and it will truly transform your life. And I truly believe it'll start today, and it'll ripple out into our lives, and truly will change the patterns of our consciousness, which truly will change the environment in which we live and move and have our being. So please go out and find within your own soul self that divine mother, because she's calling for you to come home. Thank you, and God bless. This is the part of our service where we we'll bless our love offerings, our gifts, or our tithes. And I invite you to take whatever your gift may be and put it in the palm of your hands. And remember, we're giving is energy. The only thing we give is energy, and we imbue it with our soul. I want to say thank you for all the individuals who have tithed to this ministry here. And I want to say thank you because the Vista Irrigation Water District and SDG&E, they're still sending us bills, and they love when we pay them on time. I want to say thank you. I want to say, too, that if you go to unityway.com, you can get our mailing address, or there's also a donate button there where you can do donate also on the website. But I encourage you to take whatever your gift may be, put it in the palm of your hands, and know that you imbue it with the energy of the divine feminine this morning, the divine mother nature within you. And as we say our blessing, which we're going to say, let us imbue it and give birth to know that it goes forth to nurture and not only love our church and congregation, but it goes out to the unity movement, and then it goes out into the world to change lives, to transform lives. And then we know it comes back to us because we believe in giving and receiving. We believe in the law of cause and effect. And we know as you give, you're already blessed, because that's metaphysical law. So if you join me, it's divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. All that I give and all that I receive. That's unconditioned. That's truly what this mothering nature within us wants to do, to give unconditionally. And so we seal this in the mantra which we use at our church here, which is, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. And now as we go forth, as you individually celebrate your Mother's Day, as we say this prayer for protection, let us say it for all the mothers in the world, past, present, and the mothers of the future. Because we know in time, there is no time in omnipresence. So let us tap into the divine mothering idea as we salute mothers from around the world, the mothers that have been, the mothers that shall be, also the mothers that are here now, and also salute the divine mother within each and every one of us. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And I'm here to say that she's looking down on us, and she's loving us, and sending us that mothering blessing today. Thank you, and God bless.